So today I've got a new palette. This is my first palette I had, which is a Winsor & Newton. I think it's a little sketches or sketchbook. It's a little travel one. It did me well for quite a while, but I just find with the pans that getting a brush in, you can only get like a little bit of a corner. You can't really get a... Not that you really mix with a brush like this anyway, but it's the mixing. Would help I put it on the screen, wouldn't it? So like the mixing side of things, there's not really a lot of room. I mean, that brush is probably a bit overkill, but even a smaller, like an 1/2 inch, just about goes in it. But you haven't really got much room to mix colours, and these tend to drip through from one little compartment to another. So what I've had for ages now is this palette, and it had more mixing areas here and two here, and I've accumulated quite a few colours, as you can see. And this has got, I think it's 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27. So 28 colours. Plus I've got neutral tint in here. This one is I mixed up, which is like a denim colour for jeans and stuff. That is sepia, and that's violet. So I've ended up with 32 colours, and I don't use quite a few of them. So I've got some Shinhan paints, which my son got me, which are these, and I want to put in to a new palette which I've got. I want these in a palette, so I've got myself a palette from Amazon, which is this, and it's a Transon palette. As I said, the reason is I want more of a mixing area. So this, the bad thing about this is it feels quite flimsy, and when you open this bit here, sometimes that will pop off and you have to put it back on. Not that I've used it, but when I use it, that's going to be coming off quite a lot. But I like this because it's got the wheels that angle away from you, so they're sloped down more than what I've been used to. You've got a nice mix, two nice big mixing palettes here, plus this, and this one also comes out, which then gives you another mixing area. So I could, in theory, I don't know if it'll even go on the screen, but that gives me much more mixing area than what I've had before, which is what I was after. So I'm going to put these colours in here, or what I can, and there's a couple of colours which this set doesn't have. Now I do quite a few different sorts of paintings. I enjoy painting landscapes in particular, so I do like greens and stuff, and I like the greens that you get in here. And a couple of the colours are really vibrant, so I want to use this. Apart from the fact that my son got it for me anyway, so I do want to have a palette and use it as well anyway. But some of the colours are much more vibrant than what I've had before. But I also like doing portraits of people. I'm only in early stages of doing that, but I do enjoy it. And the only mix that I've come across is raw sienna and some form of pink. The pink or red doesn't seem to matter too much, but raw sienna is the base of the light skin tones. So this doesn't have a raw sienna or anything like a raw sienna. Well, it's got a raw umber, but that's in every make I've tried. That is such a weak pigment. A yellow ochre is too yellow, so it hasn't got a raw sienna. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these colours. I've got a bit of Rosa Gallery raw sienna left, so I'm going to put that in, And I'm also going to put in this Winsor & Newton neutral tint, because I like neutral tint. I won't use the black. So anyway, so I've got these two. I've got two colours that I'm waiting for to come through, which are buff titanium and lavender. Obviously buff titanium is going to be for beaches and stuff, and lavenders for the skies. I'll try mixing my own lavenders, but because you have to use white, it then becomes opaque and I don't really like it. So I've already worked out where I'm going to have things in here. So as I say, with those two over there, plus buff titanium and lavender, that's 4 spaces I've already got. So that this is an 18 well. So I've got 14 colours to pick from out of these. So where's my little sketchbook gone? Aha, here we are. Right, so my sketchbook, I sketched out, if that will come on there, I sketched out just about the colours of the Shinhan ones, plus the colours that were in my original, not original, but this has been my main palette for ages. So all the main colours of here, plus everything in the Shinhan, and then I'll try to get the Shinhan ones which are similar. So like this one in the Shinhan is just called brown. Well, that's very similar to burnt sienna. There's not one like a burnt umber, but when I swatched out the burnt umber, I mean I hardly ever use burnt umber, so I don't really see the point of that. This one's got a Van Dyke brown, so a dark brown, but all I'm going to do is use this brown and I'll just add a bit of blue with it. But you can see by here in particular the greens, they're very vibrant. This is a yellow green. It's vibrant without looking too artificial. Suck green's good. I love this olive green. Viridian would be good for doing tropical things maybe. I don't know if I'm going to put that in yet. But anyway, yeah, so the reds are much more vibrant. These three, I mean this pink is more like a magenta. And you've got the Crimson Lake, and red is much more punchy than this alizarin crimson I've got here. So anyway, I'm going to put that together. I'm going to squeeze a little bit out of each one now. It's the first time I've done put a palette together for must be at least 2 years, I would think. Where's my little, I've got a card here which just tells me what colours I'm going to have, what they're the colours I'm going to have, and in what order. So I'm going to have, first of all, so the first one's going to be buff titanium. I'm going to go very light to darker. Right, so first one is going to be lemon yellow. I'm not going to put a huge amount in, I'm just going to put a little bit in. And I'll top it up if I like it. It might be one of them where I might have to transfer some colours. Right, so Windsor lemon, and then I'm going to have this. Can't get it on there, can I? Maybe I can if I go like that. Would that fit? Nearly. Oh. Right, so next one's going to be permanent yellow deep. It's like cadmium yellow, or maybe New Gamboge, similar to them two. So next one is Raw Sienna. So it's going to be my Rosa Gallery Raw Sienna. Raw Sienna is a wonderful colour. It looks brown there. It looks very much like raw umber, but when you paint it, it doesn't look anything like raw umber. Oh, gone wrong already. I was meant to put yellow ochre in there. Right, so as we were, this one was a yellow ochre. Also after that one. Right, so then a couple of greens. I'm going to have sap green and olive green. I figured that the sap green you could just have a bit thinner, would give you very similar green to the yellow green anyway. That green, olive green. Right, so for the blues, I'm having cerulean. I'm not really a lover of cerulean, but it just does seem to come in useful. Obviously cobalt, because cobalt's the most skyish colour, I think, out of the blues. So this one's ultramarine. I think ultramarine is in every set of watercolour paints ever existed. Prussian blue. Now Prussian blue, I like the look of it because of it looked to me like it would make a good distant mountain colour and oceans, and a nice coloured ocean. Right, so then I'm having violet because that was a lovely colour. Then I want brown, which is going to be my burnt sienna. I want the pink first, which is Bordeaux. This is a beautiful colour, this is. A glorious looking colour. Now I'm hoping that Bordeaux and raw sienna will work together for skin tones, but I've yet to try that out. So then we've got Crimson Lake and red. I can't remember which was the brightest one. I think I'll do Crimson Lake first. See, if I don't put too much out as well, then even if I go wrong and it's in the wrong order, it won't take long to use it up, and I can change them if I want. This one's the red. It's a nice red. I don't like cadmium red at all. I like these reds. These reds seem to be much more red, if that makes any sense at all. And then finally, it's going to be this Winsor & Newton neutral tint. So that is my new palette all set up. I've used hardly any paint whatsoever out of here, there's hardly, I mean, so a nice new palette setup and hardly any paint. It's so different from doing acrylics. When with acrylics, you go through paint, you know, like there's no tomorrow. With this stuff, it's just lovely. So now I can get myself set up with something like that. And I've got lots and lots of, I don't know which way round to have it really. Maybe I'd be better off having it that way. Not that it's going to fit on the camera, but if I had it that way, then I've got mixing tray that side and a mixing tray that side and a mixing tray here. Yeah, I think I'll have it like that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. See you on another one again soon. Cheers.